Good afternoon, Chester County. I'm Bobby Kagel, and I'm the Director of Emergency Services here in Chester County. I'm standing live in the Chester County Emergency Operations Center, and all is quiet right now. However, around 10 o'clock tonight, this place is going to be bustling with trained, skilled professionals managing the emergency. I want to give you a little update on what's happening in terms of preparations for the storm, what you can expect, and what you should do to be prepared for this storm. The first thing is the forecast. Now look, we don't have any magic information in terms of exactly what the forecast is going to be. We are waiting, just like the rest of you, to see what the new weather models and what the National Weather Service has to say and all the forecasters. The best information we have as of right now is somewhere between 8 and 12 inches are going to come to Chester County of heavy wet snow. Now that snow is supposed to start, the whole weather system is supposed to start around 8 p.m. tonight. In some portions of the county, that's going to start as snow. In other portions of the county, it's going to be a rain-snow mix. The heaviest of the snow is supposed to start around 7 p.m. or 7 a.m. tomorrow. So that's going to affect the rush hour commute, the drive-in, and that's supposed to last until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, with the whole system, we're being told, ending somewhere around between 5 and 7 p.m. Now here in Chester County, we are under a winter storm warning. That winter storm warning begins at about 8 p.m. tonight and goes until about 3 a.m. Thursday morning. So they're covering a pretty large stretch in terms of when we're going to have that precipitation. Now this is going to be a heavy wet snow. This is a dangerous snow. The heavy wet snow is what we call a heart attack snow. And the reason for that is when folks are shoveling this heavy wet snow, majority of the time people will have heart attacks, especially the elderly and folks that don't exercise on a regular basis. So if you have to go out and shovel that snow, the first thing is go slow. Take it slowly. Don't lift the shovel. Don't try and take a big shovel, a big bite of the snow and try and lift it and toss it. Instead, try and push that snow. Make sure that you take frequent breaks. Every 15 minutes or so, you're giving yourself a little break. Make sure you stay hydrated. And that doesn't include alcohol, and it doesn't include smoking while you're shoveling that snow. All those things can help lead towards a heart attack. We don't want that. Make sure you're dressed in layers to avoid hypothermia. If you're younger, more capable, please check on your older neighbors. Offer assistance to them. If you go to the gym every day, offer that assistance. Be friendly. Be is what Chester County residents really are good at, and helping other people. Now, because this is a heavy wet snow, we're also expecting power outages. Right now in the county, there's about 1,000 people, about 1,000 customers left without power. And unfortunately, not all of them are going to have power when the storm arrives. The storm is going to present issues for PECO in terms of addressing power outages that may occur and restoring the power that's already out. We still have a number of roads that are closed because of the last storm that we had. And so we're working with the municipalities and PECO to try and clear those roads open before folks have to go out and start plowing the snow and we start getting the heavy snow accumulation. Unfortunately, with this heavy wet snow combined with the winds, now the winds aren't going to be as bad as they were in the last storm, but we're still talking about gusts perhaps up to 40, 45 miles an hour with sustained winds somewhere 15, 25 miles an hour. And all of that is a recipe for more damage to the electrical infrastructure and trees, vegetation, meaning probably more power outages and closing more roads, making travel difficult. So we really encourage folks to stay home. SEPTA is operating on a modified storm schedule. You can get that updated schedule at septa.org. So if you do have to go out, we encourage you to check that website. For current road conditions, check 511, Pennsylvania 511's website. To prepare for this storm, make sure that you've checked your batteries, make sure that you have a full tank of gas, even consider taking some cash out from the bank so you have some cash. When power goes out, sometimes ATMs aren't available, so money might not necessarily be available. Make sure you have a fully charged cell phone. If you've got one of those battery packs that can charge the cell phones, make sure that's fully charged. Make sure you've got a flashlight, several flashlights, all charged with batteries, that the power is good. If you happen to have a generator, please, I can't ask you enough, please make sure you're operating that safely. Don't operate it indoors or in closed spaces. Make sure that it's got plenty of ventilation space. If you're using space heaters to keep warm, make sure that they have the anti-tip device that will, safety feature that will automatically turn them off. And don't fall asleep with them on. Please, we don't want fires. If you remember back in 2014, we had widespread power outages. Folks were really desperate in terms of trying to find ways to stay warm. So we had a lot of carbon monoxide incidents. Generator safety is paramount. Don't try and set a fire in the house on a kitchen table or anything like that. Make sure you're using a fireplace and it's ventilated properly. Now, I want to address something that you may see in the news. Chester County's Board of Commissioners, at my request, have authorized the issuance of a declaration of disaster emergency. Now, there's always confusion about what a declaration of disaster emergency really means. What the commissioners have done is they've issued this disaster declaration, which directs myself and the entire Department of Emergency Services and all the resources of the county to address the potential emergency at hand and take whatever actions are necessary to coordinate the response and recovery and restoration of critical lifelines here in the county. That means the folks in the Emergency Operations Center are going to be busy. We're going to be working with PECO, Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency, even the National Guard, state police, our municipality, and all of our partners in addressing whatever this storm may bring to the county. Now, what a disaster of declaration emergency doesn't mean, it doesn't mean that you have to stay off the roads. I'm standing here and I'm telling you, I'm advising you that it's a good idea to stay off the roads, but the roads aren't closed. We haven't restricted traffic, we haven't restricted travel, and this disaster of declaration emergency does not do that. You will oftentimes hear a municipality declare a snow emergency, and that snow emergency is talking about parking restrictions within the municipality, primary routes that are typically used for things like emergency vehicle access, getting to hospitals and other critical infrastructure. And those designated routes, they restrict parking on those and cul-de-sacs and things like that. Encourage you to call your local municipality or check their website for information on whether they've declared a snow emergency and what restrictions they may have in place as a result of that snow emergency. But the commissioners in Chester County have declared a disaster emergency, and again, that simply directs us to take whatever actions are necessary to respond to the emergency. It doesn't restrict travel. With that, I really want to close. Thank you for all that you do in making these events successful. The reality is that the citizens are a huge part of the overall preparedness. Citizens taking care of citizens is how we are successful. Emergency responders are often tied up with other emergencies, and so when citizens are able to help each other, that really helps the emergency responders. I want to encourage you, if you haven't already, to sign up for two very important systems that we offer here in Chester County. The first is Smart 911, and all you got to do is go to smart911.com, and you can create a safety profile. Now, what that safety profile does is you register all the telephone numbers that you may want to call 911 from. And when you call 911, all the information that you put in there pops up. So, for example, if you have a dog at home, like I do, or you have a child on an apnea monitor, or you've got somebody who perhaps is bedbound, or like my mom doesn't have a car and she would need assistance in evacuating, all of that information can be populated into the system. And it's all safe and secure. So we don't actually have access to that information until you call 911. And then it's only accessible for 45 minutes. Other things that folks put in there, if they have if they have an access code, if they live on a gated driveway and they have an access code, they'll put that information in that access code. If they have a key and a hideaway rock or one of those punch codes to be able to get a key to their house, they'll put that information in. And all that information is then provided to the emergency responders coming to your emergency, and it helps them get you help faster. The other website that I really want to encourage you to sign up for is ReadyChesco, and that's our emergency alert system. You can go to readychesco.org, or you can visit our website at chesco, chesco.org/DES. D as in David, E as in Edward, S as in Sam. And you can click on the link for ReadyChesco there. ReadyChesco provides you an opportunity to, again, put in your telephone numbers and decide how you want to be contacted about emergencies. Now, we're fortunate in Chester County, we don't have a whole lot of emergencies, so you may not get a whole lot of information from there. However, weather alerts, the National Weather Service is big on issuing alerts, so they'll send those out. You can sign up that you want a tornado warning, but you don't want a winter storm warning, or you want a winter storm warning, but you don't want a winter weather advisory. So you can sign up for that. You can tell it that you want to receive the alerts through an app that you can download on your phone. You want text messages, you want phone calls, you want emails, all sorts of different options. Really encourage you to go there. In the event that there are large-scale power outages, oftentimes a municipality will open what's called a warming center, a place that you can go to get a hot cup of coffee, get some information, plug your cell phone in and charge it, maybe have access to the internet to check email or whatever you might need to do. And so we'll put out locations, we'll put out information about warming centers that have been open, their hours of operation through ReadyChesco. We'll also have it on our website, again, chesco.org/DES, so all of that information is accessible. In the event that we're dealing with a really large-scale power outage, we might consider opening shelters, and again, all of that information is pushed out through both ReadyChesco and our website. So with that, we'll see you again soon. Thanks again for visiting with us. Please encourage all of your friends, your family to sign up for those systems. Heed the warnings, stay home, enjoy time with your loved ones, and rest assured that the folks here in Chester County Emergency Services are taking care of you and making sure that you're kept safe. Thanks and take care.